All right, TSL, let's get it. Let me ask you a question. If I were to ask you what a King Kong month look like to you, what is your King Kong goal? And you don't have any time to actually think about it. Just give it to me. What's a King Kong month to you? What's a King Kong goal? And you'll probably match it to someone else's success. And you'll come out with the answer. And you'll say, man, if I could have what that guy has. But then if I followed up with the question, well, why haven't you achieved it? Without even blinking, without even sucking in air, you would tell me 99 problems of what's blocking you and why you can't achieve that goal, that success. And Dr. Ellen Reed, co-author of Relentless Solution Focus, she was recently on a podcast that I listened to, Ben Newman. The Burn is the name of the podcast. We've talked about him before. I suggest that you subscribe to it, man. It's really good. So anyway, she was on Dr. Ben Newman's podcast. And she said, you have to think of your brain having two sides. There's a problem side, and then there's a solution side. And it got me to thinking, see, there's this, there's an old sales close called the Ben Franklin close. And the Ben Franklin close is this: when you're working with a customer, to get them to side on your side, you do the Ben Franklin close. On one side is all the pros, and then on the other side is all the cons. And the pros are always going to outweigh the cons, no matter what. So when you do the Ben Franklin close, you write it all down. All the pros are there. As Mr. Customer, you should do business with him because look at all the pros. And the pros outweigh the cons. Only it's flipped around in our personal lives. The cons outweigh the pros. The problems outweigh the solutions. So we end up freezing up, man. And we just resort to doing the best I can. And we end up at the end of the month, at the end of a quarter, at the end of the year, and we recap it. We recap it by rationalizing it all away. And we say, this is all the problems that let me tell you about all the problems I faced. And somehow I survived. Yet we we stay in survival mode. And we never thrive because we're geared and we're wired more toward the problems and not pushing toward the solution. If any of this sounds familiar, man, ring the bell. So I heard this, man. I'm like, yes. So Dr. Reed asked this question: how do you move from a problem side to a solution side? And this is the RSF tool, the whole basis of the book. And the basis of the book is the Relentless Solution Focus tool. And how you move from a problem side to the solution side is asking yourself this one question: what's the one thing that I could do that could make this better? See, you're not focused on all. You're just focused on one. What's the one thing I can do? I see it all. I have all these problems. I have this huge problem. I'm running out of month. Okay. I'm running out of money. Okay. I'm overweight. I don't like my situation right now. What is the one thing that I could do? Just one, not all. What is one thing that I could do that could make this better? And this is what she calls the +1. Love this. Because the +1 is a redirection of your thoughts. It redirects your thoughts. Problem, solution. Problem, solution. It redirects your thoughts and redefines everything from looking at a total resolution. See, think about that. When you face these problems, many times, man, when you face a big problem in your life, you're trying to jump the mountain in one leap. So you see this problem and you're looking for a total resolution before you even make a move. And because you don't have a total resolution, because you don't have with certainty how this thing is exactly going to play out, you don't do anything, and you always stay and you revert back to who you've always been, and you're getting the same results, and you're so frustrated. Why is this not changing for me? Because you're looking at a total resolution instead of just a plus one. What's the one thing that I could do that could make this better? So think about it, man. When you're on a slick spot, when you're behind the eight ball, when you're crushed with just overwhelm, man, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. What's the one thing? The one thing that I could do that can make it better. See, one thing, man, you have to understand. You're not the superhero of Superman. You're not Superman, but you are that man. If anybody asks you for Halloween, who you going for Halloween? That man. See, dude, you have superpowers. And the superpowers, you don't. The superpower that you're looking for, you're that man. What is that thing? That one thing that I could do that could make this situation better? It's super, super simple. It's not easy, but you got to keep it simple. And you're not sitting here waiting for the lottery. Oh man, if I could only hit the lottery. Execution I can do. That one action toward that. It pushes you, keeps you down. Because you're trying to look for a total outcome and it's not there. So if you keep this thing simple and you ask the question to yourself, what's the one thing that I could do right now that would make this better? Is it going to solve all your problems all at once through this one question? No, it's not. But what it's going to end up doing is it's going to start creating separation. And the separation is what you need. The separation from, I'm tired of living this way. I'm tired of having these results. I'm tired of barely getting by. See, you're hugged up to that area right there the whole time. And you're so bound up in this negativity, and you're trying to figure out how you can jump the mountain in one leap that you cannot create any separation. But if you ask this one question, what's the one thing I could do that would make my sin? I don't care what it is. What matters is that you ask the question. It begins to create separation. What I love about this, you make progress. Whether it works, you zero it out. And then you add 0 plus 1. What's the one thing? This is where your mental toughness doesn't work. You zero it out. You play over again. And see, the fact that this is what develops that mental toughness, the fact that I keep asking to that spot, what's the one thing I could do that would make this situation better? Boom, this didn't work. Make this situation better. This is how you get relentless. Because even if it doesn't work, I'm ready for the next question. I just ask myself the question over and over and over, relentlessly, until I get to the goal. You don't need to hit the lottery, man. You need to take the execution. That's it. And each step that I take is motivation. It's the motivation. That's what motive means. Move. It's the movement. You can't get anywhere not making any moves. Just make a move. I don't know what the solution. Don't worry about A to Z. Just get to B. And when you get to B in half. Then get to C. Then get to D. Rinse and repeat. What's the one thing I could do that would make this situation better? What I love about this is you're not looking for the thing. You don't need the money shot. It's just one move. And I'm prepared for the next move by asking the question. It's not one thing. It's just a thing. It's just a question. And it's a simple question. See, the problem is, man, we get too complex in life, right? We depend on someone else to come in and save us. We depend on Ed McMahon or Ed McMahon's protege to come knocking on the door with balloons and Publishers Clearinghouse. And if we make all these if-then contracts with ourselves and say, oh my God, if I only had these tools. Start with what you have. Work toward what you need. And then strive for what you want. That's the three things. What do you have? What do I need? What do I want? 1, 2, 3. What's the one thing I could do that would make this situation better? This is a formula, not a recipe. My formula is not going to be the same as your formula. I can give you my opinion. I can give you what worked for me. But there is no recipe in life. It's just a formula. And what this formula is asking that one question. Every single time you're in a dilemma, every single time, man, you feel like the world is rolling back on you. You just ask the question, what's the one thing right now I could do that would make this situation better? And you just bust the move. See, you don't need the answer. I don't know what the answer is going to be. Oh, it didn't work. Keeps you out of the condemnation zone, right? Oh my God, it didn't work. What am I going to do? Keeps you out of all that, man. Because you're not condemning yourself. You're keeping it simple. I just ask the question, and work or doesn't work, I zero it out. I ask it again and again and again and again and again. So I'm in with this, man. Where do you stand right now? In your adversity times, in your times of adversity, I should say. Where do you stand? Are you overweight? Are you broke? Are you years and years and years in sales and it's not working for you? I don't understand, man, why it's working for everybody else and not for me. I just want you to apply the RSF tool. I want you to get the book, Dr. Ellen Reed. Hopefully she'll come on the show and we'll talk about this more. But I do want you to apply the tool that you can apply this one thing. What's the one thing? That's all I want you to ask yourself today. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't look at all. Just look at next. +1. And when you get to that +1, zero it out, +1 it again. What's the one thing I could do that would make my situation better? And when you get there, zero it out. Because one thing that you always have to remember, you're always 30 days away from breaking through. You're always one customer away from everything changing for you. The only thing is you don't know which 30 days that is, and you don't know which one customer that's going to be. So if I don't know, I don't look for no. That's too complex. I don't have to worry about that. I just take one action, one move. What is your situation? What is your mountain? Don't look at jumping over the mountain in one leap. You didn't get here overnight. You're not going to change it overnight. And ain't nobody coming in to help you, and ain't no checks coming in the mail. What's the one thing I could do that would make my situation better? This episode is going to be on the Sales Life Sales Edition. This could probably go on the Sales Life, also the other podcast, but we're going to keep this one in sales, and maybe we'll come back around for the Sales Life. So this one will be posted up on later on today. If you want to listen to it again on the podcast, also leave me your comments. If you're watching this on the video, leave me your comments. I sure appreciate all the support on that. And then if you're listening to it, man, tag me, share it on your socials, tag me in it, and tell me, man, what's the one thing that you're going to do that's going to make your situation better? Remember this, man. Always remember this. Never settle. Keep selling your way through life. And the greatest sale that you will ever make is to sell you on you. Stay amazing. Stay in the sales life. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Thank you so much, man. From Buckhorn, Canada. My man, Patrick Tenney. Appreciate that, man. Superpowers is what it's all about. You guys have a tremendous Sunday. Y'all take care.